Hey, what's up out there? Coming at you from Southern Ontario, and what you have stumbled upon is a video where I'm going to bring you through my personal list of cartoon foods that I either wanted to try or just absolutely devour. You know, it's one of those things where you just think to yourself, man, this cartoon is successful, when they put on screen a very stylized cartoon of something that looks absolutely delicious, and you're just like, man, this cartoon is really successful if it's making me this hungry. And I don't mean successful by the ratings, but I mean they really made you feel what you were meant to feel by what they portrayed on the screen. Now, before I officially start my list, I would just like to say this is in no particular order, just completely random, and I hope you guys like lists because this thing is starting right now. I'm starting you off from the kids from 3rd Street School. That's right, Disney's Recess, man. This golden show, all the kids on the playground from grade 6 to the barbaric kindergartners, they're all eating wingerdingers, man. This candy bar is so popular on the school grounds of 3rd Street School that it's like currency, man. I bet even Principal Prickly eats wingerdingers. I bet Stinky Peterson eats wingerdingers, wherever he is. And we even saw an episode where TJ Detweiler, when he was held captive by the barbaric kindergartners, he depended on a wingerdinger for survival, even though it was really just a recess. Okay, so the second show I'm going to talk to you about is The It Show. I'm talking about Arthur. You know, Arthur's forever going to be The It Show, man. Even in my early 20s, if I'm scrolling through the guide and I see that Arthur is going to be on, I am definitely going to watch it. Now, the food item I'm going to talk to you about right now is kind of vague. It just really has to do with Arthur's dad being a cook. Throughout the show, you can see Arthur's dad making all kinds of deliciousness, and I bet there was kids all over the globe thinking, man, Arthur has it pretty good, having a baker or a cook as a dad. I don't know what Arthur's mom saw in Arthur's dad, but I bet he wooed her with some of his delicious dishes. Who knows? Okay, so the next one I'm gonna bring up is from the show Kim Possible, and I bet you this one is on many people's lists out there. And I'm talking about, of course, the Nacho. The Nacho was basically nachos placed into a taco. Eric Matthews, Ron Stoppable, he was really onto something. There was never a time where I saw the Nacho on TV where I didn't go, I must eat this. Hopefully my dreams will come true one day and I'll have something like this. You had the meat, the nacho chips, and you had the nacho cheese, all in a taco. That just sounds genius to me. This one is definitely high on my list, even though this list is in no particular order. The next food item I'm going to talk to you about, you can find in a restaurant called Pops in a little town called Riverdale. That's right, I'm talking about the restaurant Pops from Archie. Every single time I see Archie and his pals eating at Pops, it always looks good. When you see Jughead eating all those burgers and fries or whatever it may be, it just looks really good. It makes me want to go there and hang out with my friends and eat a little something. I'm really curious of what's on the menu and what I can eat at Pops. Pops is just a hot spot for young people to chill out, have a good time, and eat a delicious burger. I would definitely like to try some of the things on Pops' menu. And Jughead eats there like all the time, so the food must be good. But then again, sometimes it seems like Jughead would eat anything. Okay, so the next one is kinda random, and I may be the only one on the whole planet that thinks this. Maybe not. But for some reason, growing up and reading Garfield books, for some reason, Garfield's food, the cat food that he eats, for some reason I always thought it looked good to eat. I don't know why. I think maybe it reminds me of chili or something, just the way it was drawn, but I don't know, for some reason I just always wanted to try Garfield's cat food. Please let me know if there's somebody else out there who thought this, because I'm convinced that I might be the only one in Ontario who thinks this. Probably not, but at least in my area. Eating cat food. Okay, next on the list, you can find this food item at a place called Lard Lads in a town called Springfield. I'm talking to you about the donuts in The Simpsons, especially the infamous purple donut that you can see Homer often eating. You know, that donut that he's always eating at his work, at the power plant. Chief Wiggum and the two other cops are often seen eating this too, and I really want to try this donut. You know, I'm not a huge donut guy, but I can't help feeling that I absolutely want to try this donut. And I must say, it's a pretty looking donut with all the sprinkles and stuff on top. I really want to try this donut. It's one of those things where, it's a piece of what makes The Simpsons gold, it's just like, it's become a gimmick. It's become iconic. That purple or pink donut with the sprinkles on it. You know what I'm saying? Next, I think very few people will have this on their list. And this is from a cartoon called The Proud Family. The Proud Family was a really good show, and there was this character named Oscar who is the father of the show, and he ran a company making snacks. Now, the snacks in this show, nobody seemed to like. Nobody liked it, except for that one kid who had a crush on Penny. You guys remember that kid? Bless that kid. I know you guys were probably thinking maybe I wanted to try the thing where the secret ingredient was Sugar Mama putting her foot in the bowl or whatever, and that was like the secret ingredient. No, I don't want to try that. No, I'm talking about Proud Snacks. Even though it tastes bad, really what it is I always felt bad for him because everybody treated Oscar like a loser and like a fool, and unfortunately his business isn't booming because unfortunately nobody likes Proud Snacks, and all his employees are monkeys. Really what it is for me is just I feel bad. I want to give him business personally. You know, he's got a family to feed and stuff. He's got to keep the bills paid and all that stuff. I really want to like Proud Snacks. I know it's not real, but man, I would have just really liked to have given him business. But unfortunately, Proud Snacks don't taste very good. But I am curious of how bad it actually tastes. At least that one kid likes it. If you're watching this, you're probably thinking there's only going to be one pet food item on this list, but no. You guys want to guess what it is? If you didn't guess it already, it's Scooby Snacks. I mean, Shaggy likes them. I honestly want to try Scooby Snacks. I don't know. It's just something that when I watch Scooby-Doo, I'm like, I want to try a Scooby Snack. There is dog food that people can eat out there in real life. I've tried one myself. My aunt gave me one. It was pretty good. If that's the case for Scooby Snacks, which I'm not really sure if it is, I would like to try a Scooby Snack. Now I'm gonna tell you guys a food item I always wanted to try from a show that I loved so much and I never wanted to miss. And this is a show called 16. At this point right now, you're probably thinking that I wanted to try something from The Squeeze, where Caitlin works. But no. Actually, I really want to try some of Jude's Stickits. There was a time in the show where Jude was the manager of a food court store called Stickit. Stickit is a kebab place in the food court, and Jude spent a lot of time customizing kebabs, and I just always wanted to try one. Personally, I like kebabs. I'm not too big on like the heavy vegetables on them, but I always really wanted to try some of Jude's kebabs. Even though sometimes he couldn't be trusted, like that time he forgot to plug in the freezer. But that's a food item from that show I always wanted to try. Another thing I wanted to try is the bugs from Lion King. No, I actually don't want to try that, I'm just kidding. Do you guys remember Goof Troops?
Goof Troops, and they always stay together.
The show Goof Troops was in the Mickey Mouse universe, and this show was about Goofy being a dad. Yeah, Goofy's a dad, eh? Anyways, he had a teenage son who had a friend who would always have this cheese in a can. Very similar to how people like to spray whipped cream in their mouths. This dude had a cheese can thing, and he would spray cheese in his mouth. You know, honestly, if this guy was my friend, I'd probably get annoyed with him because he did this like all the time, and he had this can wherever he went. You know, if I were to jump into the Goof Troops universe and try this cheese thing in a can, I don't expect it to be delicious or anything, but it's just something I've always wanted to try. Man, it's getting hot in here for some reason. My list isn't done yet, folks. We still got more food items to cover. So this next one has to be the oldest thing I've ever put on my list. And this one is from Winnie the Pooh, and this is his honey. Just the way the artist made it, it just looked so rich, if I'm using the word rich properly to describe food. But it just glistened and looked so clean and stuff. I just really wanted to taste it. It just looked so good. You know, Winnie the Pooh just scooped it up with his hands and ate it like that. I think I'm gonna be a little more classy about it and slap it on some bread. But definitely Winnie the Pooh honey. I don't like mixing the word poo and honey together. That just doesn't feel right. Okay, I'm gonna talk to you guys about something that is a lot more vague than Arthur's dad being a baker or a chef or whatever and making all these goods. Right now, I'm gonna take you into the DCAU, which stands for the DC Animated Universe. Now, obviously, Batman has a butler named Alfred. Alfred is a beloved character by so many people. I mean, man, like, Alfred's my friend, guys. Like, he's my friend. You know, Alfred does everything for Batman. He cleans the Batcave, He cleans Wayne Manor. He does just about everything Batman asks, even if it involves his detective work. The guy even goes as far as drawing Batman a bath. You guys remember that episode? Classic Alfred, Timverse. And I can imagine that he's also Bruce Wayne / Batman's cook, and I can't imagine that he lets him go out doing his crime fighting and detective work on an empty stomach, especially if he wants to maintain that physique, especially the way Bruce Timm draws him. He's gotta be eating loads, man. But then again, half of the population of the males in the Timverse look like that. As probably expected, the Krabby Patty is definitely on my list. The Krabby Patty just looks like a quality burger. Like the kind you get from Harvey's. You know in SpongeBob when they have that very detailed painting, you know those times where it does that? That really does it for me when they show the Krabby Patty, that version of it. You know, it has everything that just makes it look delicious, you know, with that golden, slightly toasted bun. If everybody had a list, I'm pretty sure the Krabby Patty is on like most people's lists. The artist for SpongeBob did a very good job on trying to make the Krabby Patty look delicious. And just like the Nacho, this is high on my list as well.
On the lagoon bikini bottom lies the delicious Krabby Patty.
Alright guys, we're almost out of here. My list is coming to an end. Lastly on my list is pizza, particularly from the Ninja Turtles. Every single time I see pizza on the Ninja Turtles, and I'm a big fan of pizza, oh man, I just want to reach into the screen and just... The way the artists draw the pizza looks so good. They always have the cheese oozing off. You don't have the Ninja Turtles eating pizza without the cheese oozing off. That just doesn't happen. You know the pizza's good when the cheese is oozing off. Not to confuse people with the green ooze that made them Ninja Turtles. I'm talking about the cheese here. And there was this one time where I was with my cousin, I was talking to him about how the Ninja Turtles always have the cheese oozing off, and so we ordered a pizza with extra cheese, just so we can make sure that that happens. And I was not disappointed. That was a great pizza, I'll never forget that. Guys, this video is coming to a close. I hope you guys enjoyed my list of cartoon foods I would love to eat, and I would really like to know your list, so if you're watching this, please comment in the comment section below your list. I would really like to know. And if you would be so kind to like and subscribe, that would be much appreciated. And you know what? Not gonna lie, I'm getting pretty hungry right now, so I'm gonna head out and get myself something to eat. So, peace and love out there. To a later time. See you guys. What am I gonna eat?